For today's cup of coffee with Scream.
Cup of coffee.
Oh! Is Scream. Lots of Scream. Big Scream.
Big scream.
Yeah, we're recording this on March the 28th, 2025, Eclipse Eve.
Oh, loves it.
Yeah. Oh, and New Moon. And Double Portal, or whatever it was. I don't know what Kabuki Theater said. I think it's some kind of double portal. Yeah. And there was...
we got coronal mass ejection with black hole sun.
That was nuts.
That was a big fucking thing. If that thing was pointed at us when it did that...
Yeah.
Shit.
I mean, it was... and Stefan Burns had said that was a Carrington-level event.
Has this happened before?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Where it knocked out... How long did it take for them to get electricity up and running again last time?
Well, they had telegraph. They didn't have electricity yet.
And see, I really don't know what telegraph is.
That's where they had the little things that's like that tapped.
Oh, like Morse code?
Sort of.
Well, I figured like they had... Like, when I talk about electricity, I'm talking about light bulbs.
I don't think they had that at that point. I don't think that was prevalent.
Okay.
But an event like that, and we could sit and theorize what would happen if that had been Earth directed. I would say that it would probably screw up a lot of stuff.
What grade of fineness does the mesh have to be to make a Faraday cage?
I don't know. I've wondered that. It's out of our price range. It is out of our price range. So, but that coronal hole was ginormous. My God. Mm-hmm. It truly was black hole sun.
Yeah.
Where all of them had joined together. I'm glad that it was not Earth facing.
For real.
That was But the planetary geometry that we got going on right now, we got ourselves a clusterfuck. That's what we got.
What kind
some of this
fuckery is
really
this?
Stuff in Aries? People be losing their shit. People be losing their minds. Don't be one of them. Get you a potato.
Know somebody that had a knockout. Well, they didn't. They were involved in it, but they didn't throw any punches. Their family had a knockout, drag out right there in the apartment parking lot.
Uh-huh.
Had a friend busted his fucking fist because he punched his wall. So literally, he's texting like, "I'm going to bed. My hands are bloody. I'm going to bed." And I'm like, "Why the fuck are your hands bloody? Who'd you punch? What'd you do? What did you do?" He's punch the wall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been known to do that in the past, and then it's like, I'll show you, I'll hurt me. It's that meth head logic. I got over it.
He has no idea where to direct his anger to healthfully,
right?
Other than video games.
Well, no, I understand that, and that is a problem that some people have. That was where martial arts helped me greatly. Because if you're hitting a heavy bag or something that is designed to be hit, you can get that energy out of you. And that's sort of like the coronal mass ejection is that purge. Mm-hmm. And that energy has to go somewhere. And also there was that 7.7 magnitude earthquake over there near Thailand. And my God, thousands. God help them. And then there was a 6 point something even after that. And that was something I had contacted Stefan. I had left him a comment there on X. Because sometimes some of the big tubers, if you leave them a comment, I don't know whether they read them or whatever, they get overwhelmed. Who knows?
Right.
There are some of them, if they've got thousands, they can't respond to everybody. I mean, my God, that's unrealistic.
Yeah.
And so X was easier. What concerned me, he was talking about over there where the earthquake was, that for 3 minutes, the earth had sort of rippled. We like to think of the ground being beneath our feet as being solid. But it's sitting on some kind of liquid-y stuff.
supposed to be like
Lava or something.
Yeah, magma or something like that. Lava.
So that means we're floating.
In technicality, but it's like one of those fushigi balls, in a way.
What's a fushigi ball?
So it's got acrylic, but it's got like a metal weight on the inside, or whatever, and then something else. It's have you seen David Bowie with the in Dark Crystal where he was able to juggle
With the
or
balls?
whatever? Yeah. That's basically what they tried to advertise the fushigi ball as, was one of those things that you could easily juggle with.
No, that was somebody that was very, very skilled at juggling that was able to do that.
You can literally do that with any spherical object.
Yeah.
If you know how.
Yeah. But, so I had asked him over on X, it's like, what are the chances of this triggering volcanic eruptions? Because everything is vibration and frequency. It is Newton's cradle. That energy dissipates. Those waves go out somewhere.
But what I was saying that with the fushigi ball is like where it had the core and then all the stuff around it. That's except in the fushigi ball, it's solid. Ours is just liquid.
We don't know that. They think that the core of the Earth is all this stuff is theory. It's all theory. They don't know.
Yeah,
that it is solid.
I don't think anyone has actually dug that far.
No, they have not. And after they really don't have the technology to do it, because after they dig so far, then they don't have any kind of drill bits or anything that could withstand the lava. It's molten rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what if it's not actually like the full core? What if it's in like Minecraft where you get certain, like you find like pits of lava or whatever, but it's not the core of it.
Right. Well, that's where you get into some of the hollow earth theories. Yeah. I mean, you can go down rabbit holes. And this is what happens when people don't know. They create myths until something is known. And it's fun to sit and ponder. I mean, it can be fun. And then sometimes if it causes too much stress and stuff, back off of it. Because there's nothing that we can do about whatever's going to happen is going to happen regardless.
Yeah.
Man makes plans and God laughs.
I would still like to know if someone drilled a hole all the way through the earth onto the other side. What would happen if you fell through it? Would you just get stuck in the middle, or would you like come out the other side?
Well, since there's lava there, you would not come back out.
We don't know that it's fully lava for fact.
Right. Well, we do know that there is lava quite a bit, as evidenced by volcanoes.
Yeah.
That's where the lava comes from. And that was what concerned me with the earthquakes. Where will those waves go next?
Right.
And with planetary alignments, the way that we have them, and there was some kind of, it was like a cyclone, and he was talking about that. He actually had a really good show today, so if you want to go back and watch that, he has some really good information as far as wondering why they call them, on one coast they'll call it a hurricane, the other they'll call it a typhoon. He said, why don't they just call them all cyclones?
Right.
Because it's the same thing. It confuses people. He's right. It confuses people. But he was talking about the Fibonacci spiral, and that's what those things form, which is incredible. But he had some really good information. If you're having trouble, and it's like Kid over here, with any of these geomagnetic storms and different things, some people are more hypersensitive to them than others. We happen to be some of the hypersensitive kind. So I've been drinking on the tonic water. And potatoes. We had potatoes. But he's got
full of
migraine. You full of toxins.
Full of toxins.
So I think it's a
all I'm
matter
gonna
of
say.
clearing and purging and doing different things like that. So that's been fun.
Yeah.
Something else that was fun, and this was uploaded to YouTube a couple of days ago, I think, was Joe Rogan experience, and he had interviewed Dr. Suzanne Humphries. This was one of those that during part of this, I was doing if I had had a rolly chair, I would have been doing the razor fist rolly chair, spinning around going, fuck you, I was right.
You got a rolly chair.
I know, but I'm not. I do have the option.
I got one in my room.
But because what this woman, some of us that have gone down these rabbit holes for a very long time, especially as far as medicine, or what they're calling medicine, and it's frustrating. Oh my God, it's just so frustrating, and I am so grateful to God that he got me out of that field. I'm glad he got me out of the field of mental health before some of these things, and in things that may seem horrible at the time, years afterwards, you could see his guiding hand. Mm-hmm. But Dr. Humphries, a very intelligent lady, very easy to listen to.
Yeah.
And as far as she takes it all the way back with how our medical system came into being, who's running the show, who's directing the show, the horror show. It is a freak show.
Yeah.
And how a lot of these things, just simple stuff such as vitamin C,
Scurvy.
vitamin A. And that was the part I was like,
scurvy.
she said that most people either do have or are on the verge of having scurvy. That was the one I was in here screaming, fuck you, I was right.
Because most people legit, they do not eat fresh fruits.
Right.
Most of the time.
And that
Or
our
any
bodies
fruit.
do not make vitamin C. It is water soluble.
Mm-hmm. Do you piss it out?
You do. It's the same thing with B vitamins. Stress will deplete you of B vitamins and vitamin C. Let me say it right now. I am not a medical professional. Seek professional medical advice. Okay, there's your disclaimer. Anyhow,
Do that.
150 years ago when I was in college and had microbiology, the professor that I had for that was really, really good. Mm-hmm. And he was ahead of his time on a lot of stuff. And I learned from him. And it's one of those that he would say, do not consume white flour or white sugar because they have been stripped of all nutrients. This was in the 80s.
They've basically been bleached.
Yeah.
Don't eat it.
They do bleach it. And he also was talking about high doses of vitamin C. And it's like, I get it. If you take high doses of vitamin C, sometimes it can cause gastric upset.
Well, shit, I got that anyway, so you know what? What's a little
Because
bit
it is
more?
an acid. So you can space some of those things out.
So you take it like once every other day?
No, like every so many hours. If you're taking mega doses,
Okay.
check with your healthcare provider. Listen to Dr. Berg. He's another good one that you can listen to. But she was talking about that you lose so much vitamin C every time you smoke a cigarette. And it was like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's kind of like one of those things. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What?
It stresses the body. It makes sense. You're putting toxins into the body, so you're going to have whatever natural defenses and stuff that you have. Those are going to be used up very quickly. It does. It just, listening to her, I will put a link in the description box. So while you're waiting for the solar eclipse or whatever it you're doing, go and give this a listen. It's worth your time.
Yeah.
And you may not agree with her. You may come back and go, Orlando, honey, she's full of shit. Okay.
Listen, it helps us.
Well, it's always good to get other opinions. But when you understand what is happening to the voices that have other opinions, and it's not just in the medical profession. Archaeology and anthropology and stuff, those people got hit years ago. Years and years ago.
How long we talking?
We're talking as far as Smithsonian and what they do.
Shit.
We're talking about all the, sites that they're finding that they can't explain. And they're sitting there trying to make people... You talk about some fucking gaslighting.
Mm-hmm.
To sit there and go that a primitive people who had not even invented the wheel with stone tools had created some of these things that are put together so tightly you can't put a piece of paper between them.
Yeah, that's just not feasible.
That they have drill holes. It's just no way.
Yeah, that's just not feasible.
And that people will sit there because we have been so fucking dumbed down.
They're hiding so much knowledge from us
Absolutely.
that they should not have been.
Absolutely. And the only reason that people hide knowledge is they fear what will happen to those in positions of power if the people have the knowledge.
Yeah. The mass overrides the little.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's just like
It
Greg
could easily
Braden.
overpower the higher ups.
Greg Braden was talking about that, and I don't agree with everything that Greg says. I've listened to him, I don't know, for about 30 years or something. And some of it I'm like, tell the truth. Tell all of the truth. Because I understand he has books to sell and different things like that. Mm-hmm. But as far as humanity being created for a specific purpose, and the wonderment that humanity is, and that we have been lied to about that, and it goes back to the medical profession. Oh, your bodies are imperfect. You can't heal on your own. You've got to have this drug. You've got to have that. No, what do you mean that you can, with proper nutrition, that you can heal? How dare you?
Right.
What they're saying ultimately is that God makes mistakes.
He doesn't.
No. And the devil is a liar.
Yeah, they're the ones breaking us.
Yeah. And it has
the
just...
devil's trying to break us.
And I will tell you this. It is very, very sobering when you listen to this woman. And she goes back even as far as polio vaccines.
Was the Oh, yeah. Some of that shit that she was saying that were in those vaccines. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Why? It was a matter of what does the devil come to do? Steal, kill, and destroy. Why does he do it? Because he hates God and everything that God loves, and God loves humans. We are his children.
We are.
So, in your Inner Zones travels today, I highly recommend that you take that. I think it'll last maybe about an hour and a half, whatever. You can also, it's over there on Spotify, and I have borrowed their thumbnail so that you can see what show that is over there on the Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing about Joe Rogan, I appreciate, people's like, why is he so popular? He's just, he's got an essence about him. But he asks questions and he shuts up and lets people talk.
That's what an interview is supposed to be. That's what a conversation is supposed to be.
Exactly.
You sit there, you be quiet, you listen properly.
Mm-hmm.
You're be an active listener.
Right. Right, because, individuals, we already know what we know. It's a matter of learning what somebody else has to say. What they know.
Mm-hmm. And if you're talking over top of them, you ain't learning nothing.
You're not. If you're just waiting for your time. You're waiting for them to shut up so that you can talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But she even explains even as far as ADHD and the neurospicy and stuff like that, which very well could be poisoning. I knew that. I don't think I knew how far back that all of it went. I knew it was old. But I didn't know exactly how old.
Yeah.
But you're sitting there going, damn. Damn.
We're deep in the shit.
Yeah, we are deep in the shit. Everybody.
We got hope.
We do. Hope is always there.
Mm-hmm. Because
Don't let somebody take it from you.
We just listen. The battle's already been won.
Sure.
We just waiting for the whole movie to play out before we get to the finale.
Exactly. Everybody's having paranormal. Everybody is having supernatural. Everybody keep your head on a swivel. Because like I said, it's with this Aries and this randomness, situational awareness, all the time, everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Even amongst people that you know.
Do not get drug into some
Drama.
pissy shit. Yeah, don't get drug into drama. Don't do anything don't let your ass override your head.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let your mouth override your ass.
Yeah. Don't let your mouth write checks your ass can't cash.
Yep.
Yeah. So everybody take care of each other.
I was watching something and she's like, yeah, that's what I do. Writing checks. My mouth writing checks that my ass can't cash.
Mm-hmm.
And the person that they were talking to was like, you can't fight. And she said, mm-mm. Really? You can't fight? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I can. You won't come live with me?
It's always good to have a battle buddy. You want to tell them where we can be found?
You can find us on BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube at Rolanda's Cup of Coffee with Scream. Also check her out on X, previously known as Twitter, Rolanda COCWS. You can find me on there too, at that alien sable. I'm for real. May change it to Iggy Poo though.
I think you should change it to Iggy Poo. Somebody else may have that one, but he's been very busy. He's as far as his creations and stuff, and just doing art. That's what he needs to be doing. It's part of why he's here.
I've been sort of hyper-fixating on the... rather than doing some of the stuff that I genuinely want to do at this moment, I'm hyper-fixating on getting a commission done.
Yeah, because when somebody's paying you to do the work, you do the work.
Yeah.
If you want the monies, that's how that works.
But I have been sort of doing my own thing.
Well, that's all right. You can do your own thing on your time. Mm-hmm.
When you work for yourself...
you
have no idea when to make time for yourself as far as that stuff.
Well, like I said, it's one of those, how much do you want the monies? That's one of those executive function decisions.
I want the monies real bad.
Well, then you do.
So then I've been doing.
Oh, know that you are loved. Always remember that you're loved. Treat other people the way you would like to be treated.
Yeah.
And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Yeah.
Bye.